Welcome to another edition of the DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Take these glasses off, like Clark Kent up in here, for this Thirsty Thursday, November 16th, 2023. Coming live from Black Trolley as my daughter's about to go to dance class. Actually in dance class, so we have time for a sports show. I have a lot of great sports talk information to talk about. And we're only a week away from Turkey Day. Go gobble, gobble, gobble. So I love it. Rinse, wash, and repeat the cycle. Eat the turkey, the cranberry sauce, out of the Camber Ridges, except no substitute. The turkey, the tryptophan, take a nap. Tolerate the family, watch some football, take another nap, and then wake up for some more turkey and turkey leftovers for the next few days. So it's glorious. Thanksgiving, great family holiday, and we're only a week away, and then it's turkey time. And then, of course, everyone's already getting ready for Christmas. Hanukkah's coming up on December 7th in just 3 weeks. A lot of fun stuff. And my little brother Henry is about to turn 30 years old. We're about to be in the 30 club for 3 years until I turn 40 next year, which is very scary. So we will now talk about all the different great stuff. And as the great late Heath Ledger would say, and the Joker in the Dark Knight, and here we go. So we have some quick college football stuff to talk about. There's actually a college football game tonight in Pittsburgh at Acrisure Stadium where the Steelers play. The Pitt Panthers are struggling mightily. They're 2-8. They got throttled by the Syracuse Orange, who had lost 5 games. They'll have to start off 4-0. The Boston College 6-4. They're bowl eligible already. They will play at the Pitt Panthers for the Pittsburgh Panthers' last game at home for the regular season. And they wrap up their regular season schedule at 1 o'clock on the road at Duke next week in an ACC matchup. But it's tonight, 7 o'clock, ESPN primetime. 2-8 Pitt Panthers. I like the Pitt Panthers, but they're just not the same ever since they lost Kenny Pickett. And then this year's team's even worse because last year's team was at least decent when they had to get a makeshift quarterback without Pickett. Now they don't have a legit quarterback. They have a lot of skill position players. They need to do a lot of recruiting. The great coach there is struggling mightily. I don't think he forgot how to coach. I think he just needs probably get some better players, motivate them the right way, and the Pitt Panthers hopefully will be back better next year. But I expect Boston College to win mightily, bigly in that game. Boston College at Pitt Panthers tonight, 7 o'clock on ESPN if you're not into the Thursday night football game, which is should be a great AFC North slugfest between Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens from Baltimore. Also, we have Rutgers at Penn State, number 12 ranked Penn State, who are 8-2. Rutgers 6-4, ready bowl eligible. That's 12 o'clock Saturday on FS1. Penn State, they fired their offensive coordinator. They had to blame someone, I guess, even though James Franklin just has a hard time beating Ohio State, beating Michigan. They seem to beat everyone else, and maybe next year will be a little more tougher because they're going to start getting the big boy schools from the Pac-12 from the West Coast, like UCLA, USC, eventually Washington, I think. So they probably are going to win out, and they'll finish 10-2, have a good bowl game, for a New Year's Day bowl game, 10-2, maybe finish 11-2 if they win their bowl game like they did last year in the Rose Bowl against Utah. It's still a very good season, better than most, but they just can't seem to get past Michigan and Ohio State. They come close. They lost 24-15 at home against them last week. So this is their last home game for their seniors. Their home finale, and they should be able to beat Rutgers. I would think if the Rutgers under Greg Schiano has gotten better, but I would expect them to win this game. Rutgers next week will finish up their season at home against Maryland. Penn State will go on the road for a Black Friday game, just like they're going to have the first Black Friday game for the NFL next week with the Dolphins and Jets. They expect Aaron Rodgers, who claims he'll be back sometime in December. There'll be a Black Friday game NFL on Amazon Prime at 3:30. Dolphins at Jets, and there's going to be a primetime game on NBC at 7:30, a day after Thanksgiving, after you're done with your shopping and you're hungover from all the tryptophan and the turkey and all the family time. It's going to be Penn State at Michigan State on Black Friday, on Friday night at 7:30 next week on NBC. But I expect Penn State to win easily against Rutgers. I would hope so. It would be a big upset if they did it and improve to 9-2. And now they have a new offensive coordinator now to correct things. Buffalo Bills are kind of doing the same thing. They just fired Ken Dorsey, their offensive coordinator, after Brian Dable did so well there. And now he's the coach of the Giants, struggling after he had a good first year as the Giants coach last year, making the playoffs. Joe Brady, their quarterbacks coach, will now be their offensive coordinator. Hopefully they can convince Josh Allen to stop throwing to the wrong team like they're his teammates with the interceptions. Notre Dame has their home finale for the seniors. Last home game, Wake Forest 4-6. Notre Dame 7-3. Notre Dame coming off a bad loss against Clemson 2 weeks ago that had a bye week last week. I expect Notre Dame to throttle Wake Forest easily. Proved 8-3, 3:30 on NBC, so Notre Dame should easily win that game. And then they play Saturday night next week at Stanford in California to finish off their regular season, hopefully at 9-3, and then get a solid bowl game. So that should be a fun game. And then Syracuse Orange, who, as I said, were 4-0, lost 5 in a row, played horribly. They finally got a nice win, even though it was against a bad Pitt Panthers team. Got to do it at the legendary Yankee Stadium. They even up the record 5-5. They're battle head coach Dino Babers. A lot of people say that he should get fired. We'll see, but they're trying to make a bowl game for the second year in a row. They have 2 chances. They need one more win. Just one more win. When you start 4-0, you should be a bowl eligible team. They need 6 wins to be bowl eligible. They will be in Atlanta, Georgia, at Georgia Tech at the Dome, where the Atlanta Falcons play as well. And so they're both 5-5 teams. ACC matchup Saturday primetime 8 o'clock on the ACC network. Hopefully Syracuse can win. I would expect Georgia Tech to win that game close, and then their last chance to be bowl eligible. This probably is their best chance. I think they'll find a way to get in, or if not, it's a real bad season. They'll be at home next week in their dome in Syracuse against Wake Forest. So as I said, 4-6, about to get crushed by Notre Dame, so they'll probably be 4-7 coming to that game. So I expect Syracuse. I think they'll lose to Georgia Tech this week, but I think they'll be able to beat Wake Forest at home to become bowl eligible. We'll see if that's enough to keep Dino Babers' job. So that's interesting. And of course, Jim Harbaugh, still on a 3-game suspension from Michigan for the alleged side stealing investigation. And now the word came out he's not going to appeal it in court, but I guess NCAA can still step in. But the Big Ten Conference, their new commissioner, has promised that now that Jim Harbaugh will not fight in court, which makes him seem very guilty, allegedly very guilty, they will not pursue the investigation any further. So maybe he gets off easily, but he will be sit out these last 3 games. Had to sit out against the Penn State big matchup last week. He'll sit out on the road against Maryland this week, and then their big matchup Saturday after Thanksgiving, the big rivalry game against also undefeated Ohio State, the big matchup year after year. So he'll be out of those games, but then he could be back for the playoffs possibly, and the Big Ten championship, the playoffs, the national championship if they get that far. Though I think Georgia's probably going to repeat as national champions. Oh, the lights came out of it. I'm going to put this on so I can see you guys. These are the type of things you get on the DJ Roscoe Sports Show. You got to put this light on so I can see. So he should be back for that. And I'd be very interested if the Big Ten commissioner who suspended him would have to give him the Big Ten trophy in a couple of weeks in the championship game if they knock off Ohio State. That would be very interesting to see if they win the Big Ten title, just like Roger Goodell had to give Tom Brady the Patriots after he did the Deflategate thing. So it would be very awkward. But Jim Harbaugh it looks very guilty, but he will not be supposed to spend any further until the NCAA steps in. That just came out now. And then locally, we have the 4 undefeated teams, Ohio State and Michigan, who one of them is not going to be undefeated at least by next week because they're gonna play each other. So one of those teams will lose, and then there's a good chance, especially if they win the Big Ten title, whoever it's Ohio State or Michigan against one of the other powers, maybe it's Iowa or whatever. One of the other teams could sneak in. Alabama could still sneak in. Georgia, still think they're going to repeat as national champions. This would be for the 3rd year in a row if they can do it. They're undefeated, and Florida State's undefeated. So right now it's Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, and Florida State. But as I said, Ohio State, Michigan, one of those teams will not be undefeated in the top 4. This is the last of the 14 playoff. Then we get a 12-team playoff, and it's all like March Madness chaos. But I'm very excited about that. And then locally, we have a big high school football matchup. Valley View High School at Dallas, who's 12-0 undefeated. I covered their first playoff game when they beat Wallenpaupack. I covered them against Berwick earlier in the year. This is for the district championship title at home at Mountaineer Stadium in Dallas, right by my house, 7 o'clock. It's going to be on TV, local My Network TV Friday night, so check it out. Go Dallas Mountaineers. I hope they win it. My little son, LJ, he's only 3, almost 4 years old in January. He wants to be a future Dallas Mountaineer with the Powder Blue helmets. Rich Manello, the longtime head coach, does a great job there. They have some great players, so be nice to see the local Dallas team win the district title. I think avenge their loss to Valley View last year, who knocked them out of the playoffs. And then 30 years ago was the only time they won the state championship. They'd be in state playoffs. They win the district title. 1993. This is the 30th anniversary where they won an only state title. It'd be great if they could go deep and make a run this year, but at least win a district title and stay undefeated and go 13-0 if they win this game would be impressive. So check it out, 7 o'clock on My Network TV, or check it out at Mountaineer Stadium right by my house in Dallas, and say hello to DJ Roscoe Sports Show. So that'll be fun as well. And then we just quickly, before we get our NFL picks, we have NBA and hockey, of course, big stuff going on. Pittsburgh Penguins are at home against the New Jersey Devils tonight, so check that out. Baby Penguins lost a tough one against the Hershey Bears. The Bears last night by a goal. But keep your rooting on and support the Penguins at Mohegan Sun Arena, Casey Plaza with Tux going waddle, waddle, waddle. So baby Penguin hockey, check out those games. Pittsburgh Penguins played better. I think they've won 5 in a row. They just won 5-3 on Tuesday night. And Sidney Crosby, the ageless captain wonder, who's a year younger than me, but he's seems like he's been playing for over 20 plus years in the NHL. He had a hat trick in that game. NBA, they have that in-season tournament, some fun games. Draymond Green suspended, no big surprise there, with like a alleged choke hold grab move, like he's a wrestler. I don't know what's going on. But the Knicks are playing pretty well. They got a nice win last night. Sixers have been playing pretty well, but they've lost back-to-back games. Lost to the Celtics, who look like a juggernaut this year. And then, of course, it's fun to see Giannis and David Lillard on the Milwaukee Bucks. Warriors are still pretty good. Lakers have been pretty good with LeBron James. Denver Nuggets still look amazing, defending NBA champions with the Joker, Jokovic. So my Heat. So a lot of fun NBA teams. So NBA, hockey, full swings, a lot of fun stuff there. Baseball, they do their off-season awards this week. So Rookie of the Year this week was Gunnar Henderson for the Baltimore Orioles, had a great season. And Corbin Carroll for the National League champion Arizona Diamondbacks, who made the World Series. Great rookie season with power and stolen bases, with speed. Managers of the Year were Skip Shoemaker of the Miami Marlins, led them to the playoffs this year. No one really expected. Brandon Hyde of the Baltimore Orioles, great run this year. One of the best records in all baseball, over 100 wins after they were awful just a couple of years ago. The Cy Young Awards winners last night. He's going perfect time to be a free agent this year. San Diego Padres lefty ace Blake Snell, who won it just 5 years earlier to the day of the Tampa Bay Rays, who now won it in both leagues, AL and NL, just like Randy Johnson, Roger Clemens, Pedro Martinez did. So Blake Snell won it in the National League, and then in the American League, congrats to Garrett Cole of the Yankees. First ever Cy Young Award, well overdue. Pitched amazing this year. The Yankees had a very disappointing 82-80 season, just barely over 500, didn't make the playoffs. But Garrett Cole wins the Cy Young Award, gets every single first place vote. So congrats to Garrett Cole. And then tonight they're going to give out the MVP award at any moment. It'll probably be Ronald Acuna Jr. for the Atlanta Braves. First ever 40 homers, 70 stolen base season, power and speed there. He'll win it for the Atlanta Braves. In the American League, expect Shohei Ohtani going into his free agency. Everyone's into the Shohei Ohtani sweepstakes. He will win it for the Angels. The Angels stunk it up. They have new manager Ron Washington. Wish him well. But Shohei Ohtani is going to win his second MVP award after Aaron Judge rightfully won it last year. But Shohei Ohtani won't be able to pitch next year, but he's going to go to a big team. Will be able to pitch in 2025. It's going to win his second MVP tonight. And then, a lot of baseball. And then also the Oakland Athletics. Official, every single vote, all the voters voted. I feel bad for the Oakland A's fans in Oakland because they've been part of Oakland for so long, had so much success there. The owner's been very cheap over the years, and they will move to Las Vegas. So next year will probably be the last year in Oakland in 2024 when their lease is up, unless they extend it. And then for 3 years, they're not going to have a regular home because they won't be able to probably move to Las Vegas till 2028 with their new stadium. The Vegas Strip welcomed the A's to the Vegas today, and then they'll probably play their AAA ballpark in Nevada, and a little bit at their nearby rival for the National League, San Francisco Giants, Oracle Park nearby at the Bay. So the Oakland Athletics will be the Vegas A's very soon, and this will probably be their last year in Oakland. That was decided today. So that's the baseball talk. We talk basketball, talk hockey, talk college football, movies. Got a lot of fun movies coming out for Thanksgiving, including a horror movie from Eli Roth, Horror Master, and the guy who was voted Sexiest Man Alive just barely beat out Jason Kelsey, Patrick Dempsey in Thanksgiving. That should be a fun horror fest. He said no leftovers. I took my kids to see the new Marvel superhero movie last week. That was fun. And they took pictures with the cardboard cutouts of the scary Thanksgiving movie. So Thanksgiving comes out. Hunger Games prequel, Battle of the Songbird Snakes. If you want to check out on YouTube on Ross Turetsky on my channel, I read chapter after chapter. I'm bringing out, there's 30 chapters. Each video is a chapter. I read it like books on tape for my wife. So that's the book it's based on. I read the book, which is very rare. The movie comes out, Hunger Games, this Friday. And the new Trolls movie, the return of NSYNC after 20 years away with their Better Place song. That's a catchy song. That comes out Friday. And the day before Thanksgiving, some two fun Wednesday movies on November 22nd. Disney's Wish animated movie called Wish. It looks good. And Napoleon from Ridley Scott and Joaquin Phoenix, a great actor who's amazing in The Joker, amazing in everything, Gladiator. Walk the Line as Johnny Cash, and The Joker 2 with Lady Gaga, allegedly a musical with Lady Gaga of Joker 2 next October. So check that out. So Joaquin Phoenix's Napoleon comes out next Wednesday as well. We like the dessert Napoleon. That's tasty stuff. So we got to all that, and now we are ready to do our week 11 NFL picks. Where's the season gone? It's flying right by. And then before you know, it's going to be a short week because we have Thursday Night Football for Thanksgiving. There'll be 3 games for Thanksgiving a week from today. There'll be a Black Friday game with the Dolphins and Jets. So a lot of fun stuff. And it starts tonight, 8:15 on Amazon Prime Video, Thursday Night Football. And here we go. Bengals 5-4 coming off a disappointing loss to Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud doing amazing stuff as a rookie star quarterback, coming back to beat Joe Burrow and the Bengals last week, that was a surprise. So it's Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens, who I think are 7-3. Lamar Jackson's been tearing up, doing a great job. You keep him healthy, throwing and running that ball. They have some great offensive weapons, and the defense is top notch. Ravens might be one of the best teams in football, but the Cleveland Browns came back to beat them. But it was surprising. They were up by 2 touchdowns late in that game, and the Cleveland Browns came back to win, even after they missed an extra point that could have cost them the game. Deshaun Watson led them to a great comeback win, but then a couple of days later, just yesterday, they announced he is out for the season. He has had shoulder injuries, was out for a few games this year, came back, had a great game comeback win for the Cleveland Browns, and then unfortunately, with a great defense and all these great weapons, he needs surgery for his shoulder, doesn't want to damage it anymore. And so the Browns came back, made a great comeback winning over the Ravens last week. Ravens are trying to bounce back. Bengals trying to bounce back after tough losses, but now we'll have to see what Deshaun Watson they'll do without him. And they had Joshua Dobbs in training camp to be their backup, and then they cut him, and then he did well for Arizona, now helping the Minnesota Vikings, barely know his teammates' names, to a possible playoff spot with Kirk Cousins out with his Achilles injury. So now they're going to rely on a young quarterback without much of a proven track record, so we'll see what happens. But tonight, Bengals at Ravens. This could go either way. I'm actually going with the Bengals here, and my wife and I hate the Ravens. Both teams, we want to see them lose and help the Steelers have a chance to make the playoffs. But I'm going to go with the Bengals. I think Joe Burrow and the Bengals are starting to heat up at the right time. They know they lost a tough one against the Texans last week at home in Cincinnati. I think they can go into Baltimore and give the Ravens their second straight loss. I don't want to disrespect the Ravens. I know they're a good team, but I think that the Ravens, you can get them here. I think they're ripe for an upset, and it would be a big upset because I think Joe Burrow and the Bengals, when they're clicking, I think they can get this done offensively, and they'll do enough. It'll be a close AFC North rivalry slugfest. I'll go 26-23 Bengals over the Ravens, so that should be a great game tonight. Thursday games have been snooze fests with the old man Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit. It seems like they're sleeping on the job, but this one should be a fun one tonight. I'll go with the Bengals 26-23 over their rival Ravens. We're done with all the European games, the games in England last week, the last one in Germany with the Indianapolis Colts winning an ugly, close 10-6 game over the Stinky Patriots, who are 2-8, first time since 2000 before Brady took the starting job the next year. Hallelujah, hallelujah. As a long-suffering Jets fan, I'd love to see Bill Belichick suffer with the Patriots and lose now. But now there's rumors he might leave the Patriots in the offseason and try to go to a proven winner with a proven quarterback, maybe Justin Herbert at the Chargers, maybe Washington, and have a chance to have a second act just like Tom Brady did with Tampa Bay, because right now Tom Brady's winning that divorce because he won outside of Belichick, and Belichick has been god-awful since Brady left. But I digress. I take great joy in that. There's 8 early 1 o'clock games this Sunday, November 19th. 1 o'clock on Fox, the Cowboys at the Panthers. Cowboys are going to destroy the Panthers. Panthers are trying their best with their young quarterback Bryce Young. Lost to the Bears an ugly game last week, 16-13 on Thursday Night Football. I'm going to say Dak Prescott, the Cowboys, he turns the ball too much, but Micah Parsons, that defense, the offense when they're clicking, it's a bad Panthers team on the road in Carolina. This would be a bad upset if Dallas loses. Dallas is going to steamroll the Panthers. I'm going to say 34-17. They win they double them up by 17 points, 1 o'clock on Fox. Then the Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. This makes it a lot easier game for the Steelers. My wife's going to be happy about it. It's tough for the Browns fans. Without Deshaun Watson, with the shoulder injury, out for the rest of the season, I'm sure they'll rally behind their young quarterback. They still have a top-notch defense. Steelers won the first game against the Browns. That was all the defense was done. All the score with Alex Highsmith. TJ Watt scored his first touchdown. That's probably the Steelers still, the offense looks ugly. They played a little bit better last week. My wife was at that game against the Packers. They barely won that game against a young, unproven Jordan Love, who's been inconsistent. But I still think it's going to be an ugly game. They still got outgained in every single game they played, all 9 games, but they're still 6-3. Tomlin finds a way to win. Matt Canada still probably will get fired at the end of the season, but I think the Steelers will continue to find a way to win. If it was Deshaun Watson healthy on the road in Cleveland, I wouldn't really like the Steelers' chances, but I'm going to give the Steelers a little bit of benefit of the doubt that against the rookie quarterback with their pass rush with Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt will do enough to cause some turnovers, cause some pressures against the young quarterback. Steelers offense will pick it up late in the second half like they do. They'll win an ugly close game on a Chris Boswell field goal, 23-20. Steelers over the Browns to improve to 7-3, and they'll probably get outgained in this game, continue the streak on all 10 games and still have a winning record and probably make the playoffs. The Bears at the Detroit Lions on Fox, 1 o'clock. The Lions are going to crush the Bears. There is the NFC North rivalry. The Bears, they're doing pretty well without Justin Fields since he's been hurt, but Justin Fields should play this game, they're saying. Their undrafted quarterback has actually played pretty well for the Bears, but it was an ugly win. Like it's the Panthers last Thursday night. I'm gonna go with the Lions here. The Lions just got a nice win, scored a ton of points. With Jared Goff played great. They play so hard for Dan Campbell and run through a brick wall for such a motivated coach. Lions beat the Chargers last week. I think the Lions at home crushed the Bears, and they play a Thursday night. Thursdays they usually do on Thanksgiving, just like the Cowboys. So it'll be a short week. But the Lions will crush the Bears. I'll go with 36-10. They win by 26 points. They win bigly. 1 o'clock on Fox, the Chargers at the Green Bay Packers. Packers coming off a tough loss, close game loss to the Steelers. They played tough on the road. Jordan Love showed some improvements. They'll be at Lambeau Field. The Chargers, though, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here. I know 1 o'clock game, West Coast. It's like 10 a.m. their time. I still like Justin Herbert. I think the Chargers will do enough. The pass rush did well against the Jets. I know Zach Wilson doesn't know what he's doing out there with Bosa and company, but I think they can confuse Jordan Love enough as a young quarterback. He's going to make mistakes and be mediocre at best. I'm going to go with the Chargers. I still believe in Justin Herbert. I think Bill Belichick can get to the LA Chargers next year with a great young quarterback like Justin Herbert. He might actually be able to turn around the legacy of not being able to win without Tom Brady. So, because I don't think Mac Jones is the answer with the Patriots. So I'm going to go with the Chargers beating the Packers. I'll go with 23-10. They win by 13 points on the road in Green Bay. 1 o'clock on CBS, the Arizona Cardinals at Houston Texans. Cardinals came off a nice win. Close game, last-second field goal to beat the Atlanta Falcons. I picked it right. Kyler Murray came back in his return after missing a full year with his knee injury, tore up his knee. Played pretty well, led them on a last-second drive to get them to field goal range to win it. But I still think the Texans are the much better team. They've been surprising people. DeMeco Ryans in his defense that he's leading as the head coach there. And then C.J. Stroud, the young quarterback, wise beyond his years, played great. I think he's going to line it up against a mediocre, bad Cardinals team. The Cardinals got a nice win last week. Kyler Murray will give them a chance to keep it close for a little bit, but I think the Texans blow them out in the second half. I'm going to go with the Texans 30-17. They win by 13. Texans at home continue their playoff pursuit. They crush the Cardinals. 1 o'clock on CBS, the Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm picking the Jaguars here. I know the Jaguars coming off a bad loss. The 49ers who woke up and they're alive. They're alive. Brock Purdy, the defense, all the 49ers weapons. Everyone was down on them after going 5-0, losing 3 in a row, coming off the bye week. 49ers came into Jacksonville and crushed the Jaguars. The Jaguars will bounce back. Trevor Lawrence, I still believe in him. At the quarterback spot, Doug Peterson will rally the guys here. And the Tennessee Titans, I believe that Will Levis, after he played pretty well, almost beat the Steelers on Thursday night a couple weeks ago. But he did not look good against the Buccaneers. I got that one wrong, Joe Aber. The Buccaneers beat the Titans. But Will Levis, is for better or for worse, is their young quarterback. A lot of moxie there for the Titans the rest of the season. Tannehill will be the backup. Derrick Henry's still there running. Mike Vrabel still runs a pretty solid defense. But I still think the Jaguars at home should get it done. Jaguars bounce back and they'll win. I'll go with 27-13. They win by 2 touchdowns over their AFC South rivalry over the Titans. 1 o'clock on CBS. Then the 1 o'clock on CBS, the Raiders at the Dolphins. Raiders play much better under Antonio Pierce since they got rid of Josh McDaniel, who they couldn't stand, and they got rid of Jimmy Garoppolo, their quarterback. Antonio Pierce, their head coach, might be the full-time head coach. He's 2-0. I know he beat up a bad Giants team, a bad Jets offense. They came back and beat the Jets 16-12 on Sunday Night Football, but the Jets' defense was good. They go on the road to Miami. I think the Raiders will try to keep it close for a little while, but I think in the end, Tua and the Miami Dolphins, too many offensive weapons. They're mad as heck, not going to take anymore after losing in Germany to powerhouse Kansas City Chiefs, defending Super Bowl champions. They have a bye week. The Dolphins will be ready for this game, and I think the Raiders won't be able to keep up with the Dolphins offensively. They'll keep it close for a while. Dolphins pull away, and they're going to easily win. I'll go with 34-20. Dolphins win by 2 touchdowns at home in Miami over the Raiders. Then the last of the early 1 o'clock games, the New York Giants, who are stinking up 2-8, got throttled by the Cowboys last week. They're still going with Syracuse. I love quarterback Tommy DeVito, tried his best, but Tyrod Taylor is still out on IR for at least a couple more weeks. He'd at least give him a chance to win. And then Daniel Jones, unfortunately, tore up his knee coming back the week before against the Raiders. So, unfortunately, Tommy DeVito's not an NFL quarterback at the moment. Who knows if he ever will be. Brian Daboll, after all that success, making the playoffs his first year, it's basically Saquon Barkley at nothing. Saquon Barkley's on a 1-year deal. You just hope he stays healthy. He doesn't get hurt. They beat Washington just a couple weeks ago in New York at MetLife Stadium. They seem to have the Washington's number, but Washington's getting better. Lost a close one to the Seahawks last week. They beat them barely 14-7 a couple weeks ago. That was with Tyrod Taylor, functional quarterback. I still think Tommy DeVito, he threw 2 touchdown passes late in the game when they were getting blown out by the Cowboys, but I still think he'll be overmatched here in Washington. Sam Howell's doing a decent job. The defense will do enough. I know Washington's not great either, but I'm going to go with Washington to beat the Giants in a very ugly game. I'm going to go with 13... I'll go 13-6. So the Giants get 2 field goals. It'll be 13-6, 7-point win for Washington at home over the Giants. All right, so now we're going to go 3. There's a trio of 4 o'clock late afternoon games, 4:05 on Fox. Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming off a nice win over the Titans last week. Baker Mayfield played pretty well for them. At the 49ers in San Francisco, the 49ers are going to kick their butt. They got their mojo back after, as I said, going 5-0, losing 3 in a row. Got it back, crushed the Jaguars last week on the road. They're 6-3 now, back home in San Francisco. Their players are starting to get healthy. Their star power, firepower. Brock Purdy's gained his confidence. They'll beat up on a mediocre Bucs team. 49ers crushed the Bucs. Sorry, Joe, but they won last week. I got that one wrong. But I'm going to go with the 49ers beating the Bucs. I'll go with 34. I'll go with 34-16. They win by 18 points. 49ers over the Bucs to improve it to 7-3. Then by JETS Jets 4-5 have lost 2 in a row. Lost a tough one against the Chargers on Monday Night Football 2 weeks ago. Then lost a tough one where they just stopped with the penalties and have more discipline and actually get in the end zone, scored some touchdowns, not just relying on field goals. The defense is doing everything well, but the offense is stinking up with Zach Wilson. Aaron Rodgers came out and finally gave a kind of a timeline. He said by middle of December he hopes to be back. Hopefully he'll be back. Speedy recovery, record speedy recovery. Would be only 3 months after tearing his Achilles, and it'll be 40 years old on my brother's 30th birthday on December 2nd. But they will go on the road to the Buffalo Bills. They won that first game when he blew his Achilles on just the 4th play, 75 seconds into his Jets tenure, back on opening night in September. Bills also struggling. They're 5-5. Just lost to the Broncos, who have been playing better, but still a bad loss at home on Monday Night Football to the Broncos. Lost 24-22. Josh Allen keeps turning over the ball. They fired their offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey. Joe Brady, their quarterback coach, is the new offensive coordinator. And now the Buffalo Bills, and then they still, after badly played, they still almost won that game by 1 point, but then they got a 12-man out of the field penalty. They got a retry 5 yards closer. The Broncos made the field goal after they missed 2 extra points earlier and missed the field goal that would have won the Bills the game after how sloppy they were. But the Broncos earned that win. Bills were sloppy. Bills lost. I think Nana Fran's Bills are going to win. I've been picking the Jets lately. I hope I'm wrong. I hope the Jets can sweep the series, but I think the Jets are lucky to win the 1 game at home, lose 1 on the road to Buffalo. The Bills have been inconsistent. Josh Allen turned over the ball too much. The Jets defense, they had 3 interceptions against him on opening night. He'll probably turn over the ball like he does. The Jets defense will keep it close, but I don't have no faith in Zach Wilson. If Aaron Rodgers was healthy, I'd definitely pick the Jets here, but I have no faith in Zach Wilson in that offense, which is unfortunate. Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall are just being wasted out there without Aaron Rodgers and a functional quarterback, and then the Jets could win this game. I'm going to say the Bills win a close, ugly game. I'll go with 20-10. Bills over the Jets by 10 points. The Bills have been inconsistent. It's going to be an ugly game, but I think Nana Fran's Bills are going to come on top 20-10. The last of the late afternoon games, 4:25 on CBS, Seahawks at LA Rams. I think the Seahawks will win here, going to LA. I think the Seahawks, Geno Smith, Pete Carroll and company, that defense, they'll do enough. A solid running game and company. DK Metcalf as well, the receiver. I think the Seahawks win against the Rams. Matthew Stafford's been banged up. The Rams have been banged up. I know they still have Sean McVay, Cooper Kupp. They have a young rookie receiver, but I don't think it will be enough. I think Carson Wentz is waited the weeds because they signed him to be their backup in case Matthew Stafford gets hurt again with his injury issues now as he gets older. But they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago, but they've not been the same since. I'm going to go with the Seahawks, beat the LA Rams. I'm going to go with 26-20. They win by 6 points on the road in LA. Then on Sunday Night Football, 8:20 p.m. on NBC and Peacock, should be a good one. The Vikings, who were 1-4, they were 1-4. They've won 5 in a row. Vikings at the Broncos, who are 4-5, played much better. Russell Wilson played much better under Sean Payton. That offense moving the ball much better, and then the defense is playing a whole lot better. They're starting to get a rhythm. So the Broncos are playing better at Mile High Stadium. We think the Broncos have a good chance here. I'm going to still go with the Vikings here. I'm rolling with the Vikings. They kind of are playing with house money. Joshua Dobbs, he's learned on the fly his teammates' names, and that offense is clicking under Joshua Dobbs. And they were playing much better even when Kirk Cousins was healthy. Kirk Cousins is still helping them with their offense, even though he's going to be a free agent. He'll be leaving probably in the offseason. And he tore his Achilles. I hope for a speedy recovery for him. He seems like a good guy. Watch that Netflix quarterback show. He seemed like a really good guy. But I just believe in Joshua Dobbs. We trust. It'll be a fun game. Broncos have been playing way better than they have been for a while. They started the year terribly, but I think the Broncos will make it a heck of a game. I think the Vikings put out a last-second field goal. I'm going to go with 23-20 Vikings over the Broncos. Continue to win ways and get back to continue their pursuit of the playoffs. And Justin Jefferson should be back soon, their star receiver. So that's also, and then Joshua Dobbs already has as many touchdowns as what's his name, Zach Wilson at the Jets does, and Zach Wilson has played the whole season, so that's just sad. Joshua Dobbs just joined the Vikings 2 weeks ago. All right, last but not least, the big Kelsey Bowl, Monday Night Football, 8:15 on ABC, ESPN. Could be the game of the year, rematch of last year's Super Bowl that the Eagles were up by 10 at halftime. You know it. The Chiefs came back after Rihanna, and then we didn't realize at the time she was expecting a baby. She was pregnant when she did a great halftime show, and then the Chiefs came out, couldn't stop them, scored 3 touchdowns in a row. But the Chiefs 7-2 coming off the bye week. The Eagles 8-1 coming off of their bye week. Kelsey versus Kelsey. Taylor Swift will be there. Supposedly, the Taylor Swift's parents will be the Kelsey family. Travis Kelsey's parents for the first time ever at the Monday Night Football game. I'm sure you could have a drinking game. Though you get drunk real quick. How much they'll show the Kelsey family, the Taylor Swift family. Taylor Swift in attendance after Travis Kelsey was cheering her on and her European tour in Argentina. It should be a hell of a game. But yeah, so. It's Kelsey versus Kelsey, possibly the rematch of this year's Super Bowl. And very well, they could be playing each other again. Eagles at Chiefs. I'm going to give a slight advantage to the Eagles. As long as Jalen Hurts is relatively healthy, I know he's been banged up. I'm going to say the Eagles beat the Chiefs. Should be a hell of a game. Rematch of last year's Super Bowl. I think the Eagles are a little bit better. If Jalen Hurts is playing healthy, and Jason Kelsey will get a slight advantage here. They'll give each other a big bro hug. They have a great documentary, the Kelsey documentary on Amazon Prime. Great podcast between the two brothers. They very well can see each other again in the Super Bowl. And I still hope that Jason Kelsey goes out on top with the Super Bowl this year and will be able to retire as a champion after coming just this close to doing that last year against his brother. But Taylor Swift, the families will be in there. They'll show a ton of that. I'm going to go with the Eagles winning a close one. I'll go 27-24. Jake Elliott, late field goal. Eagles on the road over the Chiefs. Chiefs still don't have premier receivers, but they find a way to win with Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey. So they're running backs, these makeshift receivers. They'll find a way to to be right in this game. The Chiefs still are a dangerous team. The Eagles, I just like A.J. Brown and Swift at running back, Jalen Hurts. When they're clicking, I just like the Eagles to win 27-24 of the Chiefs, but it should be a great game on Monday Night Football. So, and then the 4 teams that are off this week, bye weeks. Falcons coming off their loss to the Cardinals are off. The Colts coming off their Patriots win in Germany are off. The Patriots sticking up at 2-8, they're off. And the Saints losing to the Vikings last week, they're off. So Falcons, Colts, Patriots, and Saints are all off this week. So again, my football picks, I'll quickly round them off. Starting tonight, Thursday Night Football, Bengals over the Ravens, Cowboys over the Panthers, Steelers over the Browns, Lions over the Bears, Chargers over the Packers, Texans crush the Cardinals, Jaguars over the Titans, Dolphins over the Raiders, Washington over the Giants in an ugly game, 49ers crush the Bucks, Bills over the Jets, Seahawks over the Rams, Sunday Night Football, Vikings over the Broncos, and Eagles over the Chiefs in the Kelsey Bowl on Monday Night Football. So those are my picks. Take two, call me the morning, it's not a tuba, and things that nature. Aha, hasta la vista, baby, it's not a tuba. And see, it's for Cookie, that's good enough for me. Cookie, starts with C. Is my Cookie Monster Schwarzenegger impersonation. So, keep it locked, DJ Roscoe Sports Show, your home for all your favorite sports and entertainment talk right here, DJ Roscoe Sports Show. I'll quickly wrap up. If you agree, disagree with my picks, love to hear from you on DJ Roscoe Sports Show. We'll also post them on Sunday with my picks on that day as well, but we'll post the show out right after this on Thursday night before we start Thursday Night Football. So a quick song with my beautiful wife, Abby. Love you all, my heart. Lorelai, LJ, love you guys, and I'm going to sing Rick rolled on a Thursday. Rick Astley, never gonna give you up. The Ginger Wonder, never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. We're never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna give you up. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning each and every week to the DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Glad the actors and writers strike's over. Young Sheldon's going to be ended after 7 seasons. So shows, movies are coming back. Thanksgiving, gobble, gobble, gobble. Enjoy all the turkey and fun with family and football. Enjoy the football this weekend. Great weekend of football. Week 11's fly right by. Go Dallas in their high school district championship game against Valley View. Basketball, hockey, baseball season awards, and free agency trades. Juan Soto maybe get traded to the Yankees. We'll see. Fingers crossed. All these guys where Ohtani will end lined up. So many possibilities. What the Yankees will do, what the Mets might do, what the Phillies might do, what the Texas Rangers, defending champions, they're going to open up the season on March 28th, opening day on ESPN against the Chicago Cubs. So a lot of fun things to see, and we'll keep you abreast of the situation each and every week right here on DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Your home for all your favorite sports and entertainment talk right here at DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Have a great weekend. Take care. We'll see you next week to get ready for Gobble 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 Thanksgiving. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.